Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland BROWNS. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been following the Browns over the past few seasons, you know that things haven't been exactly smooth sailing when it comes to their quarterback situation. And heading into 2025, that situation has become even more complex and intriguing. It's like a puzzle that's waiting to be solved, but the pieces are still jumbled. At the center of it all is Deshaun Watson, a quarterback who, despite his immense talent and the hefty contract he signed, $230 million, remember, is still sidelined due to injury. That injury, a second Achilles rupture he suffered back in January, has thrown a massive shadow over the Browns' plans. It's not just about his health anymore. It's about the entire trajectory of this franchise, the future of their offense, and even their chances of making a deep playoff run. So let's break down what's really happening here. The Browns, after investing heavily in Watson, are now faced with a quarterback conundrum that's been the talk of the league. They built a team with the expectation that Watson would be their franchise guy, their leader on the field, the one who could elevate the offense to new heights. But now, with him sidelined and questions about his return looming, the Browns are forced to adapt. In the meantime, they've brought in veteran Joe Flacco, a seasoned quarterback with a wealth of experience to lead the team. Flacco, who's had a storied career including a Super Bowl win, has been leading the charge during training camp and into the season. And honestly, he's been impressive under the circumstances, holding his own in what's been a highly competitive training camp battle. Alongside Flacco, Cleveland has also invested in their future with the rookie Dillon Gabriel, who's been developing behind the scenes. Gabriel, a promising young player, has been getting valuable reps and looks like a solid backup for now. And then there's Shedeur Sanders, another rookie, who's sitting comfortably in the third-string role. Both rookies represent the Browns' commitment to building a pipeline of talent, giving themselves options for the long term, even if Watson's return remains uncertain. But here's where it gets even more interesting. So Zach Jackson from The Athletic recently shed some light on the current situation with Watson. According to him, there's a possibility, just a slim one, but a possibility, that Watson could come back and play this season. Now, let's be clear, Jackson himself emphasized that this is exactly the plan or the expectation right now. In fact, he pointed out that most people involved would probably say it's unlikely. The Browns are probably not planning to rush Watson back into action. However, the fact that he's technically eligible to return after Week 4 if he's medically cleared is a game changer in itself. That's because the timeline of his return is now flexible, and it leaves the door open for a potential comeback later in the season. How realistic is this? Well, Jackson highlights that the Browns are taking a cautious approach. They're prioritizing Watson's health above all else, knowing that rushing him back could jeopardize not only his recovery, but also their season. The team is in a delicate position, balancing the desire to maximize their roster and give themselves the best shot at success, with the reality that Watson's health is still a big question mark. Looking at the bigger picture, the Browns' current quarterback situation has many layers. Joe Flacco has been steady and reliable, and he's earned the trust of the coaching staff. His leadership and veteran presence are invaluable, especially given the uncertainty surrounding Watson. The rookie Dillon Gabriel has shown flashes of promise, and he's being groomed for the future, providing the team with a solid backup who can step in if needed. Shedeur Sanders, another young talent, adds even more depth, giving the Browns options for the coming seasons. Now, let's talk about the challenges. The pressure on the Browns' front office and coaching staff is immense. They face criticism for the massive contract they handed to Watson and his limited production so far. Since his arrival, his on-field performance has not quite lived up to expectations, and his injury history only adds more uncertainty. Fans are rightfully impatient, wondering if they'll ever see Watson fully healthy and performing at the elite level they envisioned when they signed him. Meanwhile, the team has to navigate these waters carefully, knowing that rushing Watson back could be a gamble that backfires. And what does this mean for the Browns' season? Well, for now, it seems they're focused on stability, trusting Flacco's leadership and the development of their young quarterbacks. But if Watson can return later in the season, it could be a major boost. His presence could change the dynamics of the offense, adding the explosiveness and playmaking ability that only he can bring. It's like having a secret weapon that might just be unleashed at the perfect moment. Of course, fans are eager to see how this unfolds. Will Watson return? When will he step back onto the field? These are questions everyone is asking. The Browns are treading carefully, knowing that the stakes are high. They're also aware that the AFC North is a tough division, with teams like the Ravens, Bengals, and Steelers vying for supremacy. Every game counts, and having a healthy Watson could be the difference-maker in those critical matchups. But right now, the focus remains on managing the roster, developing young talent, and preparing for a potential late-season push if Watson can get back in shape. This entire situation highlights how unpredictable the NFL can be. It's a league where injuries, contracts, and strategic decisions collide to create drama and excitement. The Browns, a franchise with a storied history and passionate fan base, are right in the middle of it. They've shown resilience and adaptability, and they're betting on their depth and future talent to carry them through the season. As we watch this unfold, it's fascinating to see the cautious optimism from the organization. They're not rushing Watson, but they're also not entirely closing the door on his return. That leaves fans like us on the edge of our seats, speculating, hoping, and dreaming of that comeback. Because everyone remembers what Watson can do when healthy, the incredible plays, the leadership, the ability to turn a game around in a split second. And if he does come back, even if it's later in the season, it could be the spark the Browns need to make that playoff push, maybe even a deep run into the postseason. The Browns are one of those teams that always seem to be on the cusp of something great, but they've faced obstacles and setbacks along the way. This season feels different, though. Their roster has talent, their coaching staff is experienced, and the potential for a late-season surge is very real. But it all hinges on that one question: will Deshaun Watson be able to return and perform at the level they need? Only time will tell. So, Browns fans, keep your hopes alive. Stay tuned for updates, because every week brings new developments in this story. The team is in a holding pattern right now, but the possibility of Watson's return keeps the excitement alive. And let's not forget, football is a game of inches and moments. Those critical plays, those game-changing drives, and that one quarterback who can elevate everything. If Watson is able to come back, even if it's just for a handful of games, it could be the difference between a good season and a great one. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Browns. Do you believe Watson will return this season? Are you confident in Flacco and the young guys stepping up? Or do you think the team's best chance is to stick with what they have and wait for Watson's full recovery? Whatever you think, we want to hear it. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. This season is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing in recent memory, and we're here to cover every twist and turn with you, the passionate fans. Thanks for sticking with us, and as always, go Browns.